Calvary Boise is a big church in a growing city, and when you add on top of that the amount of visitors and newcomers that we have every week, the challenge that we face is how to express that we must go beyond just a Sunday gathering. The church family is more than just the weekend gathering. And of course, we love getting together and preaching God's word and listening to it and worshiping corporately. And we find an example of the ministry of Jesus where he would speak to the multitudes, but we also see in the Gospels that Jesus would walk with a tight-knit group of people that he actually called family. And because we're called to imitate Jesus, we're called to find a way to connect with one another that goes beyond the multitude in our gathering. And so we desire to find a way to connect with one another, to spend time engaging with one another, that we could really form relationships, serving one another, and ultimately forming communities that would look to our city and look for opportunities for service and outreach in a way to know Jesus and make him known in the city that God has placed us in.
Calvary Communities provide an opportunity for our church to be family together and live lives together. We eat meals together, we study the Bible together, we serve together, and we reach out to others in need of the gospel together. And we do that because not only did Jesus do that in his life, but the early church lived that way too. In Acts 2:42 to 47, we see that the early church was devoted to one another. They were devoted to Jesus, and they were devoted to the mission of the gospel. And all of those elements are still what it means to be part of a healthy church. One of the reasons living life in communities is healthy as a church is because God has not called pastors and ministry leaders to minister to everyone. In fact, he's called them to equip the body, to help the body grow in ministering to each other. God has given every single member of the body a gift, a unique gift, and he's wanting them to minister to one another, to love their neighbor as themselves. And as that takes place, and as we learn to love our neighbors, what we're doing is we're loving people not like us. We're loving people from all different age groups. We're loving people from different backgrounds and ethnicities. We're loving people from different stages of life. And all of that means that we're being church the way that we're intended to be church, that we are being little house churches under the overall vision of the Calvary Boise family. That's what we're pursuing. And when we do that, we'll see discipleship, we'll see service, we'll see teaching, we'll see growing together. And as we see all of that happening amongst ourselves in these smaller communities, we're going to see that spill over with the love of Jesus into all the people and the places that he has called us to in this city.
The best way to get involved is to go to our website, calvaryboise.com/communities, and join a group. We really believe that this is the way that God has called us to do church. So I hope that anyone who calls Calvary Boise home would join a Calvary community to really take part in the Calvary Boise family.